The story of Moses and the Exodus begins long before the parting of the Red Sea. The Israelites had lived in Egypt for over 400 years, growing into a massive population. But this growth came at a cost. A new Pharaoh who didn't remember Joseph and his contributions enslaved the Israelites out of fear that they might rise up against him. Their lives were miserable, back-breaking labor, and relentless oppression. But God had a plan to rescue his people, and he chose an unlikely hero, Moses. Moses wasn't your typical hero. Born an Israelite, he was raised in Pharaoh's palace but fled Egypt after killing an Egyptian who was beating an Israelite. He spent years as a shepherd in Midian, far removed from Egypt. But one day, while tending sheep, he encountered a burning bush, a bush that burned but was not consumed. Through it, God called out to Moses, "Go back to Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let my people go." Moses was hesitant. He argued, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh? I'm not a good speaker." But God reassured him, promising to be with him and giving him signs to perform. So Moses returned to Egypt, joined by his brother Aaron. Back in Egypt, Moses and Aaron went straight to Pharaoh with God's command, "Let my people go, so they may worship me." Pharaoh's response? A firm no. In fact, he made life harder for the Israelites, forcing them to make bricks without providing straw. The people were angry at Moses, but he didn't give up. He returned to Pharaoh again and again, warning him of the consequences of defying God. Then the plagues began. God unleashed a series of 10 plagues, each targeting Egypt's gods and Pharaoh's pride. The Nile turned to blood. Frogs, gnats, and flies swarmed the land. Livestock died. Painful boils broke out on people and animals. Hail, locusts, and darkness followed. Each time Pharaoh hardened his heart, refusing to let the Israelites go. But the final plague changed everything. God warned that the firstborn in every Egyptian household would die unless Pharaoh obeyed. To protect his people, God gave specific instructions. Each family was to sacrifice a lamb and spread its blood on their doorposts. That night, the angel of death passed through Egypt, striking down the firstborn of every household, except those marked by the blood. This final plague broke Pharaoh's will. He summoned Moses and told him, "Take your people and go." The Israelites didn't waste a moment. They left Egypt in the middle of the night, carrying gold and silver given to them by the Egyptians. After centuries of slavery, they were finally free. God led the Israelites through the wilderness, guiding them with a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. But as they approached the Red Sea, Pharaoh changed his mind. He sent his army, his best chariots and soldiers, to chase them down. The Israelites looked back and saw the Egyptian army closing in. Trapped between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's forces, they were terrified. The people cried out, "Why did you bring us here to die, Moses? We were better off as slaves in Egypt." But Moses stood firm. He told them, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again." Following God's command, Moses raised his staff over the sea, and a strong wind began to blow. The waters parted, creating a path of dry land. The Israelites, with awe and trembling, stepped forward, crossing the sea to safety. The Egyptians pursued them into the sea, but God caused confusion in their ranks. Their chariots got stuck and panic spread. Once the Israelites were safely across, Moses stretched out his hand again. The waters came crashing down, destroying Pharaoh's army completely. On the other side, the Israelites erupted in celebration. Moses led them in a song of praise. "The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. Who is like you, Lord, majestic in holiness, awesome in glory, working wonders?" The story of the Exodus reminds us of God's faithfulness and power. He delivered his people when they had no hope, and just as he made a way through the sea for the Israelites, he can make a way for you, no matter how impossible your situation seems. Trust in God, step forward in faith, and watch him do the miraculous. When you feel trapped, remember the God who parts the seas. He's still in the business of deliverance. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and hit that subscribe button for more inspiring stories and lessons from the Bible. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.